Hello, I'm Jacob Adams,
Nicole.
and today we'll be sharing with you 6 tips on how we get up early. Okay,
How we do this 90-day challenge.
yeah, getting up early has been, it's not even been that hard. It's just like the hard, I guess that's like the part of the change, right? Because at the beginning of, I was working out in the evening and you're working out in the evening as well. So we changed it to the morning. So we'll be sharing with you 6 tips on how we've been doing that. Okay. Tip number one for me is, well, obviously going to bed early. Like that's the big one. 11:30 p.m. seems to be what works for me at the latest. In other words, by 11:30 p.m., I'm like, dude, I gotta go. I gotta go. And I shut down my computer. I'm like, even though I want to be on writing or whatever, I'm just like, I have to go. Or I'll take my melatonin at 10:45 to be like, no matter what, once those 10 milligrams of melatonin are in my system, I'm pretty much gone. Like my body just starts ticking down, being like, hey, it's really, really hard to stay awake. So tip number one would be that going to bed by a certain time. For me, that's 7 hours from 6:30, and when 6:30 comes, it's pretty tough. Would you? What about you? How is it? You finding it tough to get up at 6:30, or what are you thinking?
Recently, yes, because I haven't been going to bed that early as used to before.
Yeah. So what time are you going to bed right now?
Like 11.
11,
11.
which is pretty late for
It
us.
is. It is pretty late, honestly.
What would be the perfect time? I think if I could go to bed by 9:30 or 10, that'd be great.
Like in the beginning, like the first week, I had my melatonin. I would take it like since I had a swimming session at 8 to 9, so I'd go home like at 9:30, and that's once I got home, I took my melatonin so it could kick in.
Hmm.
So when I get ready for bed, I'll be super tired.
Okay.
So like having a good sleeping schedule is a really good tip.
What's your tip? That's my tip is number one is to be in bed by 11:30. For me, if I'm so 6, 7 hours before you wake is the minimum.
Mhm. I think another one is like for sleeping tips.
Yeah, to
Um,
wake up early.
to wake up early, get like a heavy meal.
That's one of
eat
your one.
eat like a healthy protein meal, like something that's gonna like fulfill you so you can go to bed
Yeah,
because your body it's like full.
yeah, it is true. It does really help because it actually
Hmm.
helps shut down cortisol. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's actually really right on. So that's your tip right
that's
there.
my tip. Eat a good meal,
What's one of your
maybe
meals? I've been eating like
last meal.
what have you been eating?
Recently, eggs,
Eggs for before bed. That's a great one.
like eggs, chicken. Recently I've been eating seafood, so that's been like fulfilling.
Shrimp, salmon. What are you having?
Shrimp,
Where are you getting
salmon.
shrimp at? Like you getting it in frozen,
I frozen shrimp, yeah.
frozen
I
shrimp,
just cook
like
it.
at HEB or whatever.
I just make like a little shrimp salad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cute. Yeah. Okay. Well, my number two, I already said it. So, but I kind of let the cat out of the bag. The cat out of the bag. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, melatonin is one of my little secrets to get up early. It's nothing crazy. I know some people are against it. Some people look at it like you're suppressing your own melatonin production. Like I get the debate. Most people don't debate it. Most people don't. But it is kind of for people that are really into health. They're like, well, you're suppressing your own melatonin production. Look, I drink caffeine. I need to shut down my system, and melatonin is going to do it. I'm going to take my melatonin. I'm not dependent on it as much as I do notice that it helps my sleep be deeper. So, what about you? Do you take melatonin or anything?
I do. I do suffer from insomnia.
Do you really?
Yeah, I really do. I really do. I can. One time I tested myself. I experimented myself, and it's like weird because people don't really experiment. They just let it happen and experience when it comes to that moment. And then that's like really bad because like what if you had work. So it was during the weekend. It was during school time. I experimented how my insomnia works. The most I can do, stay up for 2 days. Yeah,
Oh,
two
what
days.
do you mean 2 days? Oh, in other words, you're saying you'll sometimes won't sleep for 2 days?
Yeah, like the most I
When was the last time you didn't sleep?
no, like that was like torture. I like tortured myself.
Mm-hmm.
That was like torture. Yeah, I was like hallucinating. I was getting grumpier, hallucinating. Like I was like seeing things. Maybe I was just super. Like my body was aching,
Mm-hmm.
my skin was dry. I was hungry for that energy to stay up. So I was. a little overeating, and then just to stay up, and then your body's just aching the whole time. It's awful. But I really like my insomnia helped me get up. So I was like,
Your insomnia helped you get up.
like be up, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay, okay, cool. What is
Like,
what is that?
it's like shut up. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness. You're wild as hell.
No, that's
All right.
yeah, but like melatonin, I do use it. I take 2, so like 20.
You do 20 milligrams?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I only try to cut it at 10 for sure, I used to take more. The reason I
Mhm.
cut it at 10,
I take 20.
I know I heard that, but the reason I take 10 is because it says that the human body only produces 3 a day, 3 milligrams a day.
Yeah.
So if I take 10, that's 3 times, 300% more. So I'm like, dude, I better calm the fuck down. Like,
Dude, they're so good for no reason.
you checking the gummies or the pills?
The gummies.
The gummies?
They're so good. I'm like,
Yeah. That's also the part of the reason that it's like, I think if we stuck to the pills, that might be the best way to not have so
no,
much.
because they're like low dose.
The pills?
The gummies have way more.
Really?
Mhm.
It's the same thing, Nicole.
No.
Okay, so we got going to bed at a decent time.
Sleeping schedule. Have a good sleeping schedule. Set alarms. Don't put the snooze button.
That's one of yours. That's that tip number 4.
Don't snooze.
Is that tip number 4 for you?
No, it's just like
Is that,
feeding
we
off.
need to give 6 to them.
Yeah, so I have more
Okay, so
for time management.
Okay, so you give them the next one.
Okay, so this is for time management. Planners, calendars. I have my planner here. 2023, 2024. I always write everything on it, even though it's a little messy sometimes because he writes on it like he scribbles on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just saying, always like set out your schedule, set out your plan. So you wake up, for example, like at 6, and then from this time to this time, this time to this time, and to have a good time management, always set little breaks for yourself. Like when you eat, even though when you eat, just study on the side, like do your studies. That's what I usually do. Like I have my breakfast, I read a book, like a chapter. Don't over push yourself, like to the point because you're gonna get tired.
Studying?
Like you know how people usually be like, oh, I have to like read like so many chapters. I have to do so much stuff like in one day. Like set it out like evenly. You know what I mean? So I have like 4 books that I need to read.
You call them your books.
My books.
Yeah. Cool.
My books. So I try like breakfast. Like I have to be at work at a certain time, or like after the gym I come home. Breakfast, I read a little bit, 1 chapter, that book, next chapter, chapter, like 1 book, like 1 chapter a day.
Yeah.
But 4 books. So you're progressing on each book.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't forget about it.
Right.
It usually says don't usually multitask, but I feel like little multitask is good. So you're busy and like have like a little break, like 5-minute break, and then get back to work.
Okay, cool. That was mainly it. The last tip that I would like to contribute, because we got like 6 in here throughout is like scheduling, studying,
Yeah.
Melatonin, going to bed. The last one I'd like to say is, for me, it's moment of truth is when that alarm clock goes off. The moment of truth is like I text Nicole, hey, I'll see you at the gym, right? I'll say, good morning, Nicole, I'll see you at the gym, right? I'll text you that. And sometimes Nicole takes a while to answer because she's asleep. And I'm just kind of like low-key, like, let's see how long this one takes, right? And then this week, we ran into a little bit of resistance where she was like, maybe we should do 8 instead of 7:30. And I was like, low-key, slightly almost took that deal. I slightly almost took that deal. And so today I had to put my foot down a little bit, and I was like, you know what? We can't. We have to be here.
Yeah.
And it paid off. We had a great session.
We did. It did pay off.
Yeah. And so I think that the number one thing, or the last tip for me is you got to think about that workout that you're going to get, that feeling
that's what I wrote here. I said, remember why you're doing it in the task in the first place. Like, remember, it's
the 90-day challenge.
The number one thing, discipline.
Yeah.
Something that it does progress over time. So like you need to remember like why you're doing it in the long run. Like, my body was not
cooperating today.
No, it was not. In the morning, it was just still.
But I
was
will
like,
tell you this. I will tell you this on video. I had faith in you. I pretty much knew that if we were to um, just get here and have a good workout, I pretty much knew that you were going to really like feel awesome.
And I did feel awesome. I felt great today. And honestly, like like the voices that you said, and like you want to tell them about that, like little voices, like
Yeah.
like stay in bed, like you're so comfy.
Yeah.
Just like no. Yeah. So honestly, like I use people as motivations, or use your past self as a motivation. That's like an order way to get discipline. Honestly, like you're my boss, and like who doesn't want to like present their boss as like, oh, you're good, you're well disciplined, you know. So you're like low key my motivation for like
It
to
kind of
get up.
helped.
It
It
kind
kind
of
of
helps a
helps.
little bit. Like when you're like, oh, I see you in the morning. Like, okay, well, I don't want to let Jacob down, you know. Like I don't want to for him to go alone, you know.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, those are our tips. I hope you've enjoyed this. Any last minute thoughts, Nicole? All right.
Stay active.
I hope that helped you out. And subscribe and have a good day.